Today I would like to talk about how to manage avoiding failure, because for sure nobody likes failure. I think there's nothing called as failure proofing, but we can do something to manage ourselves so that we have more success and less of failure in that process. So this is something which is what I'm going to talk about it. First thing I would like to mention here in this regard is that there's something called as something I call it as failure vaccination. Failure vaccination is that you should get yourself a lot of failures and then identify what is failing so that you ultimately don't fail big way. In fact, knowing what does not work is actually knowing what works. And that is one thing which I'd like to tell you to manage failure. My suggestion to you would be in particular three things which I like to mention. One is procrastination. I have made separate vlogs on that. Procrastination is a big killer. Second is that expectation. Quite often we expect people to deliver success to me. That's no way. I have no expectation. I would not expect somebody who will make me successful or deliver success to me. And the third is that excuses. You can't have both. You can't have excuses and success together. In fact, if you have excuses, you don't have success. You've got success, you don't have excuses. So you have to ensure that the excuses are not there in the habit that you have got. So these three things, procrastination, expectations, and excuses are definitely not part of your habit, and that is very important to manage and make you avoid failure. Another thing which I'd like to talk to you is that you become amoral. You have to see that if you've allocated time to something, and then that's it. I would do that thing and that thing alone. And that's something which is very important if you are not willing to go in failure. Because if you have allocated time to something and you start doing something else, definitely it fails. It is important that I would say that you talk to stakeholders, because you work in an ecosystem. There are a lot of your friends, relatives, parents, siblings, everybody. they are a stakeholder. A lot of time we fail because we have not cleared our position to a lot of people. These people are innocently maybe your obstruction because you did not let them know about the role they may just played in your success. So that's also talking to people is important. Apart from that, I suppose you have to have a NBA approach, that is next best alternative approach. So what happens here is that you know that if this fails, I'll do this. If this fails, I'll do this. When this fails, I do this. If you have a preparation of NBAs, in that process, you would be in a more controlled situation in terms of handling with the small failures that you may be having. I would also like you to do another very interesting thing. I call it as commitment audit. Commitment audit is something which is what we fail to do. We do task audit, but not commitment audit. I like to do commitment audit. Was my commitment to study this was strong enough that I was not attracted by something else? So just make a list of the thing that what all commitments I had for a task. I know you are doing multiple tasks, you're doing so many things every single day. But then I believe if you want to do good, you can do probably many things. But if you want to do something which is exceptional, you can at the most, at one point in time, can do just one thing. And if your goal is examination that you're preparing for, if that is exceptional, there's nothing else that you can possibly do in good way at that time. So you have to have an audit of your commitment, and that's very, very important. Also, remind more often of the joy of success instead of fear of failure. A lot of time, if you are too much into the fear of failure, it happens. It happens more frequently. So the joy of your accomplishment would, in a way, allow you to go for the task with more zest, and then you would have better outcomes. This is the few things which I wanted to share with you in this vlog, and then since there's nothing called as failure proofing, the only thing that we have to be conscious about is how we can manage it well. And if you can manage it well, I'm sure success is waiting for you, and then you can definitely be delivered with your own efforts. My best wishes are always with you.